So how did he develop fever after coming here? Is it the post-dialysis fever that everybody is getting? Is he having a fistula? So he had two fistulas then. ఇది ఫెయిల్ అయింది ఆ తర్వాత ఇది ఎప్పుడు పెట్టండి ఇది సేమ్ టైం సేమ్ డే సో వెరీ క్విక్లీ దే డిడ్ ఇట్ see the same day they operated here same day they failed and immediately they did it here just imagine how difficult it is to be surgeon surgery is much more hard work those who like more hard work physical they should take surgery those who are mental they have to be mental. So you will see a very distinctive difference between the personality of people in medicine and surgery. That's because of the work they do. Do it without plasmapheresis. So we had asked yesterday frantically to get in touch with the transfusion medicine PGs and find out whether we can do it here. And everybody said, okay sir. And that means chapter closed. We will see if you again prod us, then we will see. Think about it. If they had some, big system to advertise, by now you would have the entire West Bengal would be here. But luckily they are not doing that. But you are not able to give the good thing which you are capable of to your people here because of the training. Because nobody tells you that yes, this can be done. It is possible. We can do it. You can do it. Nobody tells you that. Because that has a different problem. I mean, different reason for that. Because they are your competitors. They wouldn't like you to do everything. Then what will they do? Okay, so shall we find out from the transfusion medicine what is preventing us from doing the, and most importantly, let us find out what is making us do plasmapheresis. I think it's unnecessary.
Because nobody has dared to do that.
So nobody dared to do a kidney transplant before. Before it was done in 1953. We read about it. So somebody has to dare. No? But how does one dare unless there is equipoise? So whenever we do a first experiment, which is also called as a randomized control trial, it has to go through an ethics committee and somebody has to say that yes, it is needed, which means all the ethical members. And nowadays in the global age, information age, the ethics committee can be everywhere. So generally that would happen with very, very peculiar, new transplants which has never happened, like a brain transplant. So the brain transplant surgeon will have to convince everybody that what he is having is backed by a lot of evidence that yes, it is necessary and it can be done. And he has to convince them. If he knows it's not good enough, if you can do something and you know that you can do it, you won't be allowed to do it. In a democracy, everybody has to learn that what you are doing is the right thing. So that is the role of your training, where you can convince people. So in your medical course, MBBS course, which is very similar to MD, we train you to be a scholar. We take you as a scholar. No person is allowed into MBBS or MD without being a scholar. Then we train you to be a leader. So scholarship is about your aptitude for the subject. There are many people who come into MBBS who are very good scholars in mathematics, but they do very badly here because it takes a different aptitude. But they are also very good students. The only thing is aptitude. So if you have the aptitude for this kind of scholarship, fine. Then the second thing is how, if you have the aptitude is not enough, how much you are able to communicate. That is leadership. So once you are a scholar and a leader, you get a internship completion certificate, which is today we are going to test you finally. And then it will be all put in that notice, open access, which will be shared with your course directors. If you are wanting a letter of recommendation, that link will be shared. We have already done it for your previous batches. So this will be an evidence-based letter of recommendation. Not like I am telling you, I am guaranteeing she is good. Not like that. Whatever she has done, you see for yourself and decide. So evidence-based letter of recommendation. I think Rashmita with her team is going to help us do the first. What was that called? KI. ABO-KI without plasmapheresis. hopefully, for which she has to read up a lot.
Sir, they have done B cell depletion techniques also, sir. Before
Yes,
even
everything
going
is,
for
everything is related to antibody reduction. But we are saying, what is this antibody? It has no role. Now role in COVID vaccination also. I mean, does it really? We are all sold to this antibody, antibody, antibody. What does antibody do? In prevention, is that a big deal? Antibody. It is basically a T cells. Why is it they are not given any importance? But when you read immunology, everything is T cells. You see that everything is the interaction of the T cell. Where is the antibody figure there? But when we are treating, it's so easy to take out antibodies. Just because we can't do anything to the T cell, we just end up doing whatever we can. But is that good enough and is that rational? So this is how you have to convince people. But first you have to be convinced. You have to be a scholar to be convinced, which means what is scholarship? It is reading comprehension skills. Reading skills all of you have. Fast reading skills none of you have. But comprehension skills only very few of you have. And then communication skills. That is in writing and speaking. That is what we need to build up. That is the PG program for. To make you competent in scholarship and communication. So, Rashmita, we're putting a lot of hopes on you.
Liver abscess and retroviral positive.
It was presented. Right.
45-year-old.
Right. So we were asking them and we had a lot of discussion. My God, this 2019, some of them were really good. Isn't it? I can't imagine. Okay, maybe there are some people in 2016 also who can. And of course, there are many PGs who can. And it's very good to see that. I mean, it's nice that we are getting an opportunity to interact with some people. We are also concerned about the large majority, maybe more than 100, who are not getting any clue as to what is happening, what we are talking, what we are doing. I suspect the number could be high. And that's the reason we will be breaking off from the practical to assess what they are learning. And we need some of you to basically select them randomly. So just like there was one intern who just selected them, picked them up randomly and then we assess them. Okay, so this is the assessment day. I think that's the, how many of them are there? A lot of them? Like last time also they were there and we did assess one person which we should have videoed. I don't know whether somebody videoed her or not. We should have videoed and that she would have been able to put in that non-verbal column. So all of them have completed their left and right columns, but in the left column, in the topmost thing is that YouTube video, where whatever they are presenting is, and that is kind of highlighted. So he has got retroviral disease, we call it, but then COVID is also retroviral. So we have to find a better name. We can call it P24 antigen, just so that others are not, he is not stigmatized and others don't. So he has got P24 antigen since when? How many years?
14
years. That's a long time. So see how well he is doing. If you see the other person who was not very well for 4 months and he didn't care, he has become cachectic. I think that those that ELOG has been done by one of them and they have shared it and he is just pending, but he is not cachectic. You see, he has got good muscle mass. He is normal. That person, yes, that's the reason. Maybe before that he was doing well. In 14 years, that this speaks volumes about our drug therapy, the efficacy of our drug therapy. Was it really tested in randomized controlled trials? I don't know. The 2019 batch, some of them, I'm sure can now find out as to whether these drugs which we are using, this combination, has it been ever tested in a randomized controlled trial? If so, then what would have been the trial design? Because can you imagine, denying a person with P24, the HAART, because that would mean a randomized controlled trial would mean you would give placebo to some of these people, and some of them you give the retroviral, as they call it. Yeah, they also call it retroviral, antiretrovirus. So they will have to change those names. So and only when he is turning he is having a very light pain. So this is kind of a musculoskeletal pain. When you have tenderness, that is the pain. So sometimes abscesses will also have tenderness when the abscess is touching the superior part of them in the perihepatic area, which is basically the visceral peritoneum covering the liver. So when that is inflamed, because of the inflammation below that, you will have tenderness. Tenderness even on the chest wall. So he doesn't seem to be having that. So whatever it is, it's a very indolent kind of an organism. So what could it be? It could be Burkhold area as we discussed. It could be, but that is the last thing. It could be so many polymicrobial organisms which people really don't know what are those pyogenic polymicrobial organisms. We need to have some more light on that. Maybe somebody can dig it up. 2 to 4. So Rashmita is presenting about what?
Diabetes.
Yeah, diabetes. You were presenting. You already presented diabetic AKI yesterday, and this
APO
one.
income.
Yeah, this you are going to do something. So you will just present what you have done about it, and something else today. Yeah, not even. But yeah, what about other things? We discussed a lot, and we didn't assign as to who is going to discuss what.